Hi, welcome back, or welcome if it is your first time here. Today I just wanted to do a brown smoky eye. We don't have anything new to test. I just wanted to pick out some makeup products and just play around. I saw someone do a brown smoky eye and that's what inspired me. I can't remember who it was. It was either like Emily Knoll or Kelly Strack, but honestly I think it's some older videos. But that is what I want to do today. If you enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. I feel like my camera looks weird because I let Cam use it the other day and I feel like he might have like messed with my settings because I feel like I look quite like blurred. I don't know though, maybe I'm like just bigging myself up. But my rosacea is so unhappy to do. My cheeks are very, very unhappy. So we will need to cover that. But let's start with the eyes, shall we? So I pulled this out. This is the most sort of dark brown palette I could find. I really wanted a colour sort of like similar to my nails, like a warm toned dark brown. But I couldn't honestly really find any. So this is what we have today to play with. I honestly don't even know if I'm going to do any shimmers. But this is the Revolution Ultimate Desire Stripped Khaki palette. I have used this green before in a video and honestly it is insane. But brown. I did take a screenshot of one that I saw on Pinterest. It's just like very bog standard, just dark brown. But I don't know. We'll see what we do. Also, a lot of my brushes I have put in the kitchen because I need to wash them. So we're going to be working with limited brushes today. But I'm going to start with this Primark one. Actually, I'm going to put on some lip oil first. I'm going to just quickly pop on this Revolution Eternal Rose lip oil. I'm trying to use this up. I don't do empties anymore because I feel like, I don't know. I don't particularly like watching them, so I didn't really see the point in filming them. So it looks like there's like a filter on the video, but then when I get closer, it's fine. It might be the autofocus, because I feel like when I get closer, you can like see my pores and stuff. But I do feel like when I'm far away, I am looking quite airbrushed. So like I do have pores. I will show you everything. So if it looks airbrushed when I'm further away, I'm sorry. There is a weird setting on my camera that I think Cam has messed with that I'll have to get him to have a look at. But I'm going to start with this little transition shade right here. Let me zoom you in a little bit more, shall I? I'm just going to take that on this wide blending brush by Primark. And I've had this, I did my eyebrows. And I put concealer on my lids, and then me and Cam had like some lunch. So I feel like I've had this concealer on my eyelids for a while, so it started to crease. But I'm just basically taking that transition shade and I'm just going to run it through my crease. It's a really nice warm shade. I must admit, I love like a dark brown smoky eye. I think it's so like sophisticated and just like kind of sexy. Okay, so I've just got that transition on. It looks really nice. I just have it pretty much all over the lid. And now I'm going to take this more flat brush. This is called the Flat Blending Brush, again from Primark. And I'm going to go into this really deep brown up here. And just going to put that on my eye, and then I'm going to go back in with that other brush with my transition and just try and blend this a little. Honestly, that was like pretty easy, and this look is pretty much almost done. That was like a 2-step process. I'm just intensifying this a little bit more. Back in with that transition and just blending. I'm taking a little bit of that deep shade mixing with this because I feel like I need something in between to transition this out, otherwise it's just looking really quite stark. So I'm just mixing those a little. I'm going to attempt to get a nice blend. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That looks a lot more blended. Then I'm just going to go straight back into the transition. Okay, so I think that is pretty much the eye look done. I might add a shimmer or a glitter or something in a minute, but honestly I hadn't envisioned it with a shimmer or a glitter. I'd envisioned it just matte, and honestly that was very like easy to do. I do think I'll fine tune it a little bit. Like for example, I want to take a different brush with this sort of like light shade and just make sure that all of the out parts are blended, and then obviously I will clean it up with a makeup wipe. But I do think that this is pretty much the look, so I'm going to go and do it to the other eye, and then I'll come back and we will do the face. But that was so quick and easy. That was actually like 2 steps. You just put the transition on, put the dark on, blend, and then I'm just going in with this. But honestly you don't really need to do this. I do wish there was another shade in between these two that I could use to transition it a little bit better from the very dark into the transition, but I think it went pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I am back and the eyes are done. I had a little bit of trouble with blending this one up a little bit too high, but I think it looks fine. Like, I think it looks okay. I did deliberate as well with putting on a little bit of glitter, but I think I want to keep it matte because I feel like I never just do like a matte eye. So I think that's what I want to do today, and I want to do like flawless glowy skin, but I need to cover up this rosacea because I am not enjoying it today. So for foundation, honestly all I have been using recently, if I'm going to be honest with you, is this Super Serum hyaluronic acid foundation from Relove by Revolution. I think the shade is a little bit off for me. I have this in the shade F2 and I feel like it is a little bit too, I don't know, like it's just maybe like a little bit too deep, or like the undertone's a little bit wrong, but I've been loving it. I love the finish, I love the coverage, I love the wear. It just, this makes me feel good, and honestly I really just want to feel pretty. So it has like a nice little dropper. This is like £5, and I just gotta squeeze some on. I normally just use one of the little droppers, and I normally blend it with a brush. Do I have my brush here? Yeah. I normally just take a brush and just like blend it all over my face, but you can see how much coverage it has, because it really does just like disguise my rosacea. But like this, it just looks so pretty. It's so glowy, so if you don't like to glow you won't like it, but it has such a nice coverage. Like, I'm just going to zoom you in because I feel like my camera isn't doing it justice. But like, look at the coverage side by side. Obviously I haven't blended it fully, but this is just, it's insane. It's really pretty, and for the price as well, you really cannot go wrong. I think they also have a matte foundation. I've never tried it because, to be honest, I just don't like matte foundations, but if you do, I'm fairly certain they do have a matte foundation that you can try, and everything from Relove by Revolution is like under £5. So I normally only use one drop, but I am going to add a little tiny bit more, but honestly I feel like that has covered beautifully, and it looks so good on my skin. But I am going to add just a teeny tiny bit more, just because I want to go down my neck, because I've had this like weird eczema thing on my neck for a couple of years now, and it always seems to come up like sort of in summer or when it starts getting hotter outside. I'm just going to put on that much, so just one more drop. I will be curious to see how this wears in like extreme heat though, because like we are obviously going to be coming into summer soon, and I wonder how this will wear with like sweat. But it looks beautiful. It looks really nice in videos and photos as well. It makes your skin just look so like healthy, even if you set it down with powder. And it's just such a nice even coverage that like any sort of like redness or problems that I have it just deals with it. Like honestly, this foundation is 10 out of 10, can't complain. So I'm just going to use my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This one is in the shade Fair Beige. I have this weird like bump thing on the side of my face. I've had it for probably over a month now, and it like feels like there's a spot there, but then if I try and pop it, like nothing comes out and it just becomes really inflamed and painful, and I don't know what it is. So that's fun. But I thought it had gone, but it's still there. It's still just like a little bump. But this concealer is really good. For a long time I didn't really understand the hype around it, because there was like a lot of hype about how great coverage it had and blah 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 blah, and I never understood it, but now I think I get it. Now that I've tried honestly a lot of bad concealers and also quite a few good ones, I feel like I can judge it a bit better. And this one, like it looks really nice. It keeps my under eyes hydrated, which I appreciate because I do have quite dry under eyes, and it just looks really nice all day. That is definitely one thing I appreciate. I am appreciating more the older I get, is the longevity of my makeup and how it looks like halfway through the day or at the end of the day. There's no point in just like looking pretty at the start of the day if it's gonna look shit like 3 hours later. Honestly, looking flawless, I can't complain. That is my like go-to combo, is the Revolution Super Serum and the e.l.f. concealer. And then for bronzer, I'm going to use another one that's sort of like my favourite at the minute, but I haven't used it in a bit, and that is this guy from Revolution. A lot of Revolution in this video. This is the Revolution Pro Goddess Glow Cream Contour and Bronze. I have this in the shade Light. Firstly, I love the packaging, like the little tortoise shell. I really like it. I am not the biggest fan of this little cushion thing, but also like it's not anything that I get like too upset about. It's just whatever. You just sort of like dollop a little bit on, and you can see that this colour almost does look like a little bit like greeny or yellowy on me, but it does blend out to be very nice. And this is definitely like a liquid formula. I haven't used it in a bit, so honestly I forget if you have to like blend it out straight away, but I'm just gonna take a brush. I think I might have put too much on, to be honest, because I've just managed to do like pretty much my whole forehead, but this colour is definitely like bronzed, and it's really easy to work with. The formula is really nice. Like I like how liquid it is, and it does give a really nice sort of like glow to the skin. Like it really is very like sun-kissed. I'm just going to use my foundation brush just to blend. Like if you were to go on holiday or something, I would definitely say like take this with you, because it does give a really nice like bronzed look. I have to blend it a little more because, to be honest, I haven't done the best job so far. But that is one side with it versus without. So what do we think? I think it looks nice. I think it looks very like bronzy. I think it'll make more sense again with like the rest of our makeup on. I feel like it always, like the process always like looks weird, but I'm gonna add some more here. Not as much, because I do think that I added like too much on this side. So, and I do like the fact that it has like a lock. I appreciate that at least. Yeah, okay. On this side I used a lot less product, and I think it looks a lot better. It looks a lot more natural, so I do think that was like user error. I haven't used this in a bit, so I forgot sort of like how much you need to use. So this side is like too extreme for me, like it's a bit much, whereas this is just, this looks natural, like this looks pretty. So yeah, this side was my fault, but this looks nice. But again, I do think that shows that you do maybe need to be a little bit careful with it, because it is quite pigmented, but you can blend it out. So it's not like you're gonna put it on and if it's too much you'll look crazy. You can like blend it out and sort it out, but I would say don't use too much, because it is actually more pigmented than I think I expected it to be. Okay, for blush I think we should go toasty. We want to go toasty, we want to go warm. So let's look, what do I have? Whenever I want to go toasty, honestly, I always just think of my Barry M Fresh Face Cheek and Lip Tint. This is in the shade Caramel Kisses, and this is just a beautiful, like, warm, almost like burnty kind of shade. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just beautiful. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use it on the same brush as my bronzer, and this is very much like a liquid sort of like gel formula. Like, it's very lightweight in texture. And this, I really like this blush formula. Honestly, it feels really lovely. And it does give sort of like that fresh face, like dewy look, like youthful. It's so easy to blend in. And like, I will say on the face, maybe it feels like the tiniest bit like sticky, but it doesn't stay like that all day. And it just gives the prettiest like look to the skin. That is the thing I think I'm noticing recently, is that I've been really drawn to like glowy products and making my face look like as glowy as possible. But this just looks so pretty. Can you hear Lily snoring? I think that was a good shout as well with the eyes. I'm sorry if you can hear her snoring. She's being quite loud. Okay, and then last but not least, let's put on some highlighter. And for liquid highlighter, I always pick this one. This is the Collection Gorgeous Glow Filter Finish. It's meant to be sort of like a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, or like the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I haven't actually tried the e.l.f. Halo Glow because I just love this so much. This is just a beautiful like spotlight effect. You can use it before makeup, you can use it mixed in with your makeup, you can use it like a highlighter like I'm using, and I just think it is so beautiful. It's just so easy to use as well, and it really does give the most beautiful like candlelit soft glow. I don't know honestly price comparison, how much it is in comparison to the e.l.f. one, but it is just so stunning, and I feel like no one talks about it. Everyone's all about the e.l.f. one, but the Collection one is great as well. Like, it just adds that like little like dewy glow. It's so pretty. Now I'm going to do powder, and I'm going to do my favourite powder combo of the moment. You guys have probably seen me do this like a bunch of times, but I've just been loving the way my skin looks. So I'm going to take one of my little powder puffs, and I'm going to go in with this Studio London Flaunt Flawless Setting Powder. So this is the brand by Superdrug, and when I first tried this, I really didn't like any of the stuff from their brand, but I actually really like this powder now. So I like dip into the powder, there's a lot on there, and then I tap like pretty much most of it over my hand, and then I go in and set with whatever's left. So I don't like baking or anything, I just like lightly dusting, and it just sets it down so like beautifully, but like it's not drying at all. It's still really like skin-like, which I really like. And I really like this powder on like my T-zone, and on my cheeks a little, and on my forehead. Just anywhere where I sort of have like pores, I really like this powder. And then I have another powder that I use all over my face for that sort of like glow. Okay, so that is a half of my face set just with the Studio London powder, and the other half not. And I have zoomed you all the way in, so I feel like you can see like it really does smooth my under eyes, it really does smooth my pores. It just makes everything look beautiful. It looks really nice on the forehead, like you can see it has mattified here. This powder is really nice, and then especially when I top it off with the e.l.f. Halo Glow all over the face, it really does make a big difference. So like you can just see side by side, like this side just looks so much better. So I'm just going to do the same to this side, and then I'll come back and we'll do the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Okay, so that is set. Now it is e.l.f. Halo Glow time. So this is the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. I have this one in the shade Light. Firstly, I really like the cute little pink packaging, and then this is just the powder. It does have like a slight tint to it, and that is why I don't use it like all over my face or like under my eyes. But I do just take a big powder brush. I normally like swirl it on my hand a little, and then I just take this literally all over my face. And I really do just feel like the e.l.f. Halo Glow really does just give like some life back to my skin. Like nothing on my face looks dry, nothing looks heavy, nothing looks cakey. Everything just looks really like fresh. Like it looks like really healthy, like hydrated skin. And this whole ensemble has really been working for me. Like the foundation with the concealer with the powders, like it really has just been looking super nice on my face. And I struggle quite a lot with like dryness, especially like dry patches, and this like combination of products just is chef's kiss. It looks so good. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about the eyes though. I'm not used to seeing myself with such dark eyeshadow that it's kind of like a bit weird. Also, I like curled my hair twice and it just does not want to stay. It's really annoying me. My favourite bronzer of the minute, you'll probably guess, it is the Sunkissed Copper Crush. I have just been loving like the marbled bronzer. I think it is beautiful. Primark bronzing brush. I'm just going to dip directly into this like marbled one here. I just think it is so like beautiful and like sun-kissed and glowy, and it is just all the vibes that I have had lately, which is just sort of like more sort of like natural, easy makeup, like the very glowy, like bronzed goddess kind of looks, like summertime. And you can see a difference between this side and this side. Like the bronzer just really adds that like definition that I needed. It just sort of like brings my face to life, I think. And for blush, I'm going to use this little guy here. This is the Collection blush in the shade Trouble. I really, really like this shade. It's kind of like a deeper like mauve, and it does have sort of like a satin finish to it. Look, it just gives like a little bit of glow, but it doesn't add like any texture or anything. I've always thought this was a really nice like everyday kind of blush. And then for highlighter, I'm going to use the Primark one just because I've really been into the like glitter from the highlighter. I've just really liked the way that it looks. So this is the PS Rose Glow highlighter, and this is my Primark highlighter brush. I've just been really enjoying it. Like it's so glittery, but it really does give like next level glow in like photos and videos and stuff. Which like I would not wear this highlighter like out. Like if I was doing this makeup for like an everyday makeup look or to go outside, this is not what I would use at all. But for videos and photos, this is just so effective at getting across that like dewy like look that I just have to. But I think I will use this Primark Prep and Perfect Up All Night makeup setting spray. So this says that it's meant to like make your makeup last for ages, but I've found with it, I think I've used this 2 or 3 times, I think maybe 3. I found that my makeup does look very like oily-ish quite early on in the day. So I don't know that this would be my pick for like making makeup last a really long time, but it definitely does make my face look very like nice. So the only thing is that the sprayer is quite aggressive. Let's finish up these eyes quickly. So I'm just gonna pop back into the Revolution Ultimate Desire palette. I'm gonna take a brush, and I think I'm just gonna take the transition shade that we used. I don't think I want to go deep on the under eye. And then for my inner corner, I do think I'm just going to take this like light shade. I think it's a matte, honestly. I'm just going to put that on my inner corner and also under the brow. I don't remember the last time I used like a matte shade in my inner corner. It has been a really long time. Honestly, it looks pretty good. I think it looks good with this look because this look is very matte. But it's definitely not gonna like take over me doing my shimmer because I just love that. I am gonna put mascara on, figure out what to do with my hair, probably put on just like a lip oil, and then I'll be back to show you the finished look. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I have a question for you that I want you to let me know your answer down in the comments, which is, at what point in your makeup do you feel like everything comes together? For me, it's always mascara for some reason. Like, I'll have the rest of my face and I'll be feeling like, oh my god, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I get the mascara on and I feel like I am good to go, I look good. Let me know what yours is, because I bet a lot of people it'll be like the lipstick, or a lot of people maybe it'll be like the bronzer or something. I'm very curious. But anyway, this is my finished look for a brown smoky eye. Let me know what you think of it. Do you think I did a good job? Would you try this look? I think I like it for like photos. I think I'll take some cute photos. I think it's like sultry, and I guess I'm just not really that type of person. I'm much more like, I guess, the light natural makeup, but I feel pretty glam even though I am just wearing my boyfriend's t-shirt in my living room on a Sunday afternoon. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for hanging out with me as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.